jack. I heard about this keyboard a few years ago. Well, I think it's a few years ago, at least a year. And was really excited about it. I'm a big Nord user, vintage keyboard user, and this really turned me on, especially the way it looked as well. I'm quite a kind of aesthetic guy. I love red keyboards or anything a bit fancy, and this just looks amazing. I had no idea it was coming out. I was just in the park sunbathing nearby. I've come into the shop and they've asked me to give my first impressions. And first thing is, I walked up to it. It looked incredible. It looks incredibly built. This is super robust. I can't imagine this even getting scratched, to be honest. And I was instantly excited about how deep this was and how flat it was. So instantly I'm looking at this. I can gig with this on its own, put another keyboard on top. And first thing I did when I sat down and played it was, to me, it looked like a Wurlitzer, and that was to play some Wurlitzer stuff. And the keys instantly, and the sound of it with the speakers, the small speakers. I mean, at first you'd probably be apprehensive about them being small, but they give out the exact sound of a Wurlitzer EP200, which I've had a couple, but I've ended up selling because for one sound they're a lot of weight to move about and a lot of effort to maintain. As I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty sure this is all modelled. Waldorf do some great synthesizers. And famous especially like for their filters and their fatness of their analog kind of modelling, and they've taken this into the electric piano world. So for that to be just a model and not a sample is sounds incredible on its own. You've got pretty robust chicken head knobs here for the patch selection, which I love. Nice sturdy click. The user panel here, really concise. First got a massive master volume, biggest knob on there. Really smooth. Love that. Tremolo unit here with speed and intensity. Sound, so obviously what sound source you're going to be playing with. And then an effect section with obviously some parameter changing on there. Sounds. Number one, tines. So if I'm right, tines are going to be Rhodes style pianos. Let's see what just the basic tone sounds like. So I'll take all these effects off. Again, if I'm right, I reckon they're going after a Mark I Rhodes there. And what I really like is the only thing you're going to really want to touch it with at first is a bit of tremolo. So we can just hit tremolo on. I'll set that both to half on the dials and we'll see what the same thing sounds like. Probably a little bit more, that's quite subtle. Right, so I've only moved it about one on there and it's really kind of kicked into a trem, like really hard trem. That's a bit better. Cool, that's the times. Number two on the sound source is bars. Thinking it's a different type of Rhodes. Often you'll have a Mark I and a Mark II, Mark V. Yeah, it's a bit different, but very subtly. A little bit of trem. I know I'm walking in the background. a little bit drier. Like on the Nord pianos, if you've got them, you're going to have the earlier Mark ones that are much more bell-like. The other ones, they tried to get that away actually, and have a drier, more kind of flatter sound for a wider variety of uses. We'll go on to reeds. So these are going to be Wurlitzers, I'm sure of it. I knows it. Do the same thing, just reference. The best. That's the best Wurlitzer emulation I've ever heard. Because I think everything working in this is giving me the feedback of a real Wurlitzer. So the way it's breaking up. That's proper. That's cool. Yeah, I'd buy it just for that probably. Right, grand piano. Already had a little quick play of this, and I'll play the same thing again, and then you make up your own mind. Number 5, electric grand, one that probably about 3 people in the country are gonna maybe want to play with. Awkward sound. I'm gonna play with it anyway. That's what it is. If you like Prince, well, I love Prince, but I can't play anywhere near as good as him, so that's probably why I don't use it. FM, so thinking they're going to be Yamaha DX70 sounds, or a sound, namely this, I reckon. Yeah. EP, you know what I mean? FM sounds exactly what I thought, but again with the speakers and action, all a lot more feedback than your average kind of DX patch on a normal Yamaha keyboard or whatever workstation you've got. So even like a boring sound that maybe you get to a function and you're doing never too much, you know. Yeah, a bit. This you can feel it in your fingers. I used to have an old Yamaha P250, big old like speakers in it, and I used to really enjoy playing that because when you did really hit the keys hard, you can feel it, and you can feel it on this. So even a boring sound is alright. 7 is a clavinet. We'll just do it dry and see what's going on. I doubt I'll need to play that down there. I literally wandered in from the park today and saw this. The guys told me to play it, and first touch, I loved it. I've spent probably 15 minutes with it now, and you saw me flicking through the sounds. My initial impression is it's incredibly well built, great keyboard action, in the midst of all the keyboards it's trying to do. They've really struck a good balance here. They've got one in Andertons for you to come try. I understand it's the only one in the UK. So if you're a bit of an old school keyboard head like me, I'd probably come try it out.